So the women march is going to the federal courts. And they started from the city hall after 4 speakers made their claim. The marchers are moving in front of the federal court here in the city of Houston in the state of Texas, where the state Congress has passed the anti-abortion law, which, though challenged legally, the Supreme Court has actually said the challengers do not have standing, though the Supreme Court have not ruled on the constitutionality of the law in Texas. These groups and others in America who fear that other states may legislate in similar way like Texas and band together to fight and defeat Roe v. Wade in the United States are fighting and are beginning.
When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Women's rights are under attack, what do we do?
Anti-abortion
rights are under attack, what do we do?
Laws of Texas in front of the United States courthouse. This is the United States, the Bob Casey courthouse, and this group is in front of the courthouse from the city hall. This is the Bob Casey United States courthouse.
And the courts to defend our reproductive rights. Instead, we have seen the political establishment steadily restrict abortion until the phrase pro-choice is an empty promise. I'm a lawyer, and one of the reasons I went to law school was to defend reproductive rights. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that these laws and these courts are not our friends. We have to organize in the streets and in our workplaces to win reproductive freedom. In fact, this is sad for me to say this because I think many groups do help people, but we have to face the facts. The defensive and legalistic approach where abortion has been effectively banned overnight. Instead, we have to return to the militant tactics of the feminist movements of the late 60s and 70s, the very same tactics that won abortion rights to begin with. We have to return to the mass protests like the women's strike for equality of 1970, the workplace organizing of the 9 to 5 movement throughout the 70s. We need to take up the strikes and protests for abortion rights that won the right to choose in Ireland a couple years ago and that fought against abortion restrictions in Poland. And countless other protest walkout strikes and organizing efforts. That's the only way to win social change. We can't win social change by begging and pleading with far-right judges. We have to be building movements in the streets and in our workplaces. And we have the power to take action and win social change. We have to demand that abortion rights are defended. We've seen Joe Biden promise to defend abortion rights, but he's taking no action. The Democrats, they control the presidency, the House, and the Senate. There is no excuse for inaction. The Democratic leadership should do whatever it takes to enact sweeping protections for abortion rights. They can act right now to write Roe into law, to codify Roe. But as we've seen repeatedly this year, they will use any excuse in the book not to act. And this is important. I think this is really, really important. We cannot give the Democratic leadership an inch of room to get around this. We need mass protests and walkouts to demand that Democrats immediately codify Roe. Progressives in Congress, this is the time to fight. They should use every bit of leverage that they have to demand the establishment take action. And while it is critical that we fight against the abortion ban and secure the right to an abortion, we cannot stop there. Reproductive choice is about much more than just abortions. For many, abortions and other reproductive care are too expensive, and people shouldn't have to rely on charity to care for their bodies. A feminist movement should also fight for Medicare for all, so that abortions are free, safe, and legal. And pregnancy health care is free as well. But to truly make reproductive choice a reality, we need to address the systemic economic inequality that is facing people today. A feminist movement should fight for free universal child care, higher minimum wages, and equal pay for equal work. It's the 21st century. Only when we address these key economic demands can there be real reproductive choice in society. I'm about to wrap up. More and more, working people and youth are seeing how the moderate and ineffective approach of glass-ceiling liberal feminism, their reliance on the courts, we're seeing how that has failed. And I think that there is more and more a deep hunger for fundamental change that puts an end, once and for all, to all of the crises and the exploitation that we see in our society today. As we saw painfully this week, under capitalism, every gain won by our movements, such as abortion rights, can be rolled back by a stroke of the pen by the ruling class. Winning genuine liberation from gender repression will require channeling our anger at this rotten capitalist system into a mighty struggle for a socialist future.
Yes!
If you agree, then you might just be a socialist feminist like me. Then you should check out Socialist Alternatives table right over there. You should come to our virtual meeting this Tuesday at 7:30. Thank you all very much for the fight. When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do? When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
With Houston's United Front Against Fascism and Houston Socialist Movement.
Pick up on something Rhoda told you back in City Hall. The struggle to defend women's reproductive rights, their health, indeed their life, is certainly part of a broader struggle against fascism. After him trying to steal the election, after the January 6th attack on Congress, and after the transformation of the Republican Party into a proto-fascist organization, are we not clear about the danger of fascism, or are we clear?
Clear!
If you want to defeat fascism, we'll have to yell louder than that. So before I say a few remarks, that'll be few, I promise, I want to lead you in an anti-fascist chant, one of my favorites. Anti-fascista! 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 Anti-fascista!
Anti-fascista! Anti-fascista! Anti-fascista! Anti-fascista! Anti-fascista!
Anti-fascista. Thank you very much. It became law. We all know that, right? Have you ever seen the numbers involved and the number of women and other abortion seekers who die because they feel they can safe legal abortion? There's evidence around that suggests astronomical numbers. I've been doing research for a book recently and found out we don't know exactly how many women and other abortion seekers died